So Levi's asking this weird question about set addition. This is kind of motivated by the idea of a set with no things in it, right? So this is a list with no things. And he's wondering if there's like some kind of a way that I could add that to a list with one thing in it. What thing did you want to put in your list?
One.
Just one. It's really boring.
Just to make it simple. Oh, I see.
I'm going to add this to a list that has the idea of a sheep in it. And this is an important... What? That is a sheep. This is how you draw a sheep. You draw a cloud, you put legs on it, and you put a face on it. Trust me.
It looks more like a loaf of bread than a cloud.
Wow, the complaints about my artistic. Right. So normally I teach counting and things by talking about goats, right? Can you imagine my luck drawing goats up here? So sheep are the best I could do, and this is a sheep. Trust me. So I claim you guys already know the symbol for adding sets together. How do you add intervals together? Yeah, you use this union thing, right? So what this thing says, right, is this is kind of the idea of add these sets together.
Nothing plus sheep equals sheep.
So yeah, if I have a list with nothing in it, and I add to that list a list with a sheep in it, what things are in my combined list?
A sheep.
Just a sheep,
Yes.
right? And this is actually equals, right? I mean equality here. So this is a new list that has, this is supposed to be the same sheet, but he obviously got a little flattened in the process. So this is the idea, right? This is kind of a thing you guys know about, right? Like, when else does this happen?
Identity. Domain and range. Did anything go plus something by 1 or add 0?
How about, what do you add to stuff to get back the same stuff?
0.
0, right?
Yeah.
So this is this is part of your confusion, right? Is that the list with nothing in it
Yeah.
actually acts a lot like 0.
Right.
Right? Because it's a list that you can combine with another list and get back the list you started.
However, so if you add 0 to the first list, then it would be equal to 0 comma sheep.
Okay, yeah. So if you had 0 in your first list, right? Now this is not a list with no thing. This is a list with the idea of no thing. Right? And if we add that to the list with a sheep in it, we should get a list that has the idea of nothing in it and also a sheep.
All right.
Does that kind of make sense?
Clear. All is understood.
So if you had, let's try another one here, because we're here. If you had a list with 1, 2, and 3 in it, and you added that to a list with 4, 2, and 17 in it, what would your new list contain?
1, 2, 3, 4, and 17.
Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 17.
And you wouldn't add the 2 twice because there's just pointless to count things twice.
And you would not have the 2 twice because this is just a list of things, right? This one had the idea of 2 in it. This one also had the idea of 2 in it. But when I combine those lists, right, I just get a list that's all the things that are in one or the other of these guys. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So this is how adding intervals together works too, right? And it uses the same symbol because it's the same idea.
And wouldn't it be if you put the symbol to that? I don't remember what it's called.
I'm not going to teach you that.
Oh, okay.
So there is a symbol that looks like this thing upside down, which you would think does
The opposite.
should probably do the opposite thing, right? Like
not.
some kind of
There's
subtraction-y
no justice in
thing.
the world.
Yeah, there's no justice in the world, so that's not what it does. Oh, what the hell? So if you took my same 2 lists, 1, 2, 3, and capped it with 4, 2, 17. So sometimes these are called cup and cap. Sometimes these are called union and intersection. I would prefer union and intersection. That said, I'm not going to ask you any questions about these at all. So if you stick these together with this cap symbol, right? If you intersect these, what is the intersection between this stuff and that stuff?
2.
Why?
Because it exists in both sets.
Because it's the stuff that's in both sets, right? That's what an intersection should be, right? Like an intersection between two roads is the spot that's on both the roads.
Yeah.
You guys kind of with me on that?
Yeah.
So this would just be a list, right? And that list should only contain 2, because why doesn't it contain 1?
Because 1 doesn't exist in the second list.
Yeah, because 1's not in the second list. Why doesn't it contain 17?
17's not in the first list.
Because 17's not in the first list. You guys kind of cool with that?
So cool with that.
Okay. Neat. You didn't an intersection.
So if neither of those lists had anything that was contained in the other list, would you have a list with no thing? Or would
Yes.
you have a list with the idea of no thing?
Okay, so if you had a list with 1 and 2 in it, and you intersected that with a list with a sheep in it,
It would have a set with nothing in it.
yeah, there's nothing in the intersection here.
Not even
So you
two.
would get the list with no things in it, not the list with the idea of nothing in it, because the idea of nothing is actually in neither of those sets.
Exactly. This would be 0.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
So this thing's called the empty set, which is why I'm going to complain if you cross your zeros. So this is the same thing as this symbol, which is why I will really harp at you if you cross your zeros.
Could you put a 0 with strike through and 3 equal signs to make it equal to set nothing in it?
This would maybe be more appropriate for the other.
Just defined as.
Yeah. So this is actually what I mean by this symbol, right? This symbol is defined as the list with nothing.
Cool.
Which is why I'm going to yell at you when you use that symbol for something else, because it's actually defined to be this.
Okay.
Cool?
That makes sense.
And that's not a like for this class period definition, that's a like forever and always definition, which is why I yell about it.
This is 3 lines.
Because it doesn't take x's, but it's not a function.
Oh, that's only we only do that for functions. Understood.
Cool? Questions, things?